Good morning, everyone. This is Anne Marie. Today is November the 13th, and it is another range-bound chart that we are looking at, stretching quite a bit wider, looking at a little bit of a megaphone event, as we have discussed before. We've got positive trending behavior, dampening just a little bit on the 4-hour chart, but holding in a space we can't really say that definitively the chart is giving its hand away, right? We should be coming in to the 50 on the 4-hour. When we do, it'll be a big deal. We are still expanding away from the 50 and the 200 on the 4-hour. Trending perspectives below 176.29, potentially a short into 175.56, and then into this region 174.89. Upside momentum looking at 177.62, I would say 177.70, somewhere around there. You got to wait for it to confirm before you decide to do anything there. That chart is still in the process of making a decision. Closer look tells us the exact same thing. This is a pretty sensitive SMI reading that we have here, inflecting in these pretty significant spaces, moving here. This is suggesting a bounce up. Notice, looks a lot like this, trending upward. A lot more momentum sitting here, so popping action, though we have a gap down, popping action could hold to the upside. Again, you want to be really careful up at the 177.60 area. You could take the aggressive long somewhere around 177.35 or so. Shorting action remains relatively the same at 176.31. Let's take a look at the IWM. Incidentally, folks, thanks for the feedback on how much you like these videos. I will do my best to put them up more often. Many of you are saying that you really appreciate them, and they're good for us. Certainly as members, we can track very carefully what we're looking at with SPY. And so here we are taking a look at the IWM on the hourly. Let's go to the 4-hour and do a little bit of a comparative analysis. We can see on the 4-hour chart, this looks quite different. The fast SMI, similar. The slow SMI, very different. Momentum slipping well out of here. We are sitting under the 50. SPY is sitting above the 50. So we've got quite the difference. We've moved all the way down into here. We got held by the monthly pivot, support level 1 on the weekly pivots, and now we're sitting here in sideways action as always, right? Aggressive entry, intraday trading looks like 109.93, 109.95. We really can't think about anything from a swing perspective until above 110.40. In my mind, we could begin price action down here below 106.60-ish. That seems to be a very likely space. What is the broad market delivering to us as far as telling us what's going to happen in the future? Not a thing. Not really telling us anything on that 4-hour chart. Let's go down to the 1-hour chart, see if we see something else. Also, damp momentum, not telling us anything. We are sitting here, though, above the 200, above the monthly, above the weekly VWAPs, that is, above the daily VWAPs, above the 50, above the 8, above the 30, all in the 1 hour. This is really a big space for the IWM. If it's holding these regions, big deal, meaning that if it loses these levels, it's come up and tried all of that information to get us to the next space, and we've collided down. So not a good picture if it loses that level. So far, things holding upside momentum, but not great, right? So we'll need to watch out for that pretty carefully. This tight action says you could probably take the long above 109.60, but knowing that sellers are going to appear probably about 25 cents later, let's take a look at the Qs. Qs looking a little bit more like the IWM than SPY. Let's take a look here. Well, it certainly doesn't look like it here, but this is very pretty. This is interesting. Coming into the zero line and popping, we've got a pretty nice likelihood of long activity above 82.70 for the Qs up through this congestion. So what have we done? We have been in a congested region. We fell out of it. We've come back to retrace it. If we hold it, we'll go to the top of the congestion region. That's just how those things work. So I like this one today, 82.69. Above that, below 81.99, 82, going to have some shorting action there. That's also going to be pretty nice. Expanding regions between the 50 and the 200. What have we got here? Sideways action on the 1 hour chart, very tight as well. We're sitting under the 50, right? Not above the 50, but under the 50. So let's watch for what happens. Everything turning positive here, bouncing above the zero. This is a typical space for pricing action to be solid to the upside, and that ought to be pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. All right, folks. Hey, good luck trading today. Pay attention. Watch your size. Markets are conflicted.